Hello Cancer, welcome or welcome back to Mind, Body and Heart Tarot Therapy. I'm here to do the reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising signs for what's left of January and let's say first half of February, about a month from when you're actually seeing this, and for this time frame, all right, type of reference. So yeah, this is a general reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. If it resonates, it resonates, and if it doesn't, maybe it's just not your reading. Take what works for you, what you feel that makes sense to you. Use your intuition to know that, and let the rest go. All right, my dear Cancer, let's see what's going on with you this month. What's the current energy? The Moon, Cancer energy, actually. All right, now let's see what is the challenge for my dear Cancer. Knight of Cups, King of Cups being the challenge. Okay. My setting here is moving around. All right, what is the advice for Cancer? Sun, Moon and Rising signs. January, February. The Magician. Alrighty, sorry for the noises outside. Hope you can hear me rather than that. Oh goodness. Yeah, that's quite loud. Well, enjoy. And let's see what is the future energy for Cancer. So what's this building up to? What's this about? Lesson, or what's empowering you to do this kind of things? Future energy. Okay. Temperance. Got a lot of major arcana here, my dear Cancer. Temperance and the Knight of Swords. Okay. And bottom of the deck, you have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands. That is the theme of your reading. It's the overall process for you this month. I hope you get the idea. All right, I'm going to clarify these cards before we go deeper into this. But this looks like a big month for you. It really does. Let's see. Why is the Moon here as your current energy? Why is the Moon here? Current energy. Father of Pentacles. Okay. Why is the King of Cups as challenge? Why is King of Cups challenging for my dear Cancer? Son of Cups. Great. Nothing to do with the reading, just it makes it harder even to interpret, but I'll get to it. The Magician. Why is the Magician here as advice? Eight of Swords. Okay. Why are Temperance and the Knight of Swords? Oh yeah, I know what this is about. Why are the Temperance and Knight of Swords here as future energy? Okay. Well, you've got a lot of like major arcana and cool cards and like high court cards like kings. You have 3 kings, 2 knights and one page. This is a very interesting reading. I'm getting excited about it. And bottom of the deck you have the Fool of the Page of Wands as your theme. Actually, let me take a general look again before going into it. Sorry it's taking this long, but it is a pretty complex reading, I would say. Okay. Yeah, I just needed to take an overall dive into it before I'm starting blabbering. So the Page of Wands with the Fool as fuck so much Major Arcana as your theme, the theme of this month. So darling, I think you're going through a pretty beautiful process of rediscovering your passions, rediscovering what is it that makes you tick, and becoming playful and looking for adventure, looking for experience without um, hindering yourself in this aspect with it should be like this or it should be like this. Is pure curiosity and excitement, Page of Wands. And the Fool, yes, definitely as well. It's like that leap of faith, is that going into a completely new cycle with little baggage, when you're free, you are free right now. You are free to do whatever you want on a blank new slate, blank new pages, a whole new canvas in front of you. And yes, of course, there are dangers. Yes, of course, there are things that you can't predict. We don't have to. That's the journey. That's where the curiosity comes in. You know, opening up to the new chapter with curiosity and not having to know everything, it's actually what keeps the adventure alive. We don't want to know the end of the movie before we look at it. We want to experience it, we want to follow through, we want to build up to that end. What is the point of knowing the end of a book before I even start reading it? Like, I won't be reading it anymore. You get my drift. So it's really a beautiful invitation, and I think that this fire of passion can have the chance to grow. Are still in the beginning stage, so it's a very maybe childlike type of energy and curiosity. Stay with it. Stay with it. Don't dismiss it. Don't put it down. Don't be like too rational or too this or too that. It's okay. And then in the current energy, you have the Moon and the Father of Pentacles. As I said, the Moon is your card. You are the Moon is Cancer and the Moon are connected, right? The Moon is ruling Cancer, and you may be in your heightened senses right now. You may really be connected to your intuition, and at the same time, you can really make this work for you. You may also get in touch with the parts of your psyche that aren't that friendly, like all these fears that show up as you're like going into this new journey, new cycle, new adventure. You need to go through the threshold guardians that would be like, now you're gonna sit there, you're going to be safe, and you're not going out there into the unknown to discover God knows what other fears and pains and things that your mind might want to dismiss, because of course it's trying to keep you safe. But that's the point. Like this, the wolf and the dog are symbolizing your fears, and these two towers are symbolizing the gate, right? And you're this creature here trying to get out of the water and go into this beautiful new journey full of adventures. It's a lot of adventure in this reading. And you may have to face them, you may have to face these fears, but I think like you really are able, because you have also the King of Pentacles here, which is mastery. You are able to really work with this and have this work for your benefit, knowing how to approach your fears, knowing how to tame them, knowing how to stay present in your body, knowing how to keep the big picture in your mind, knowing how to stay fully present with your experience without giving in to these like waves of fears, because you understand that the journey is desirable, and that you've grown so much through the last cycles, who knows however many, and that you feel safe with yourself, you feel confident, you feel that you are able to take care of yourself and cope with whatever is being brought your way. This king came to be a king because he's got lots of life experience. He can't rule without that. It's an evolution in these cards. It's not like in real life, okay, you're the son of the blah blah blah, you're appointed and that's it. It's an evolution of consciousness in order to get to the mastery of the king. So remember that, like, also the wisdom of the moon card is that your fears can become your allies as long as you don't let you are able to face them, to be with them, to tame them, to have the conversation. When you're avoiding your fears, when you're trying not to feel them, when you're like staying into the pool of whatever comfort zone you find yourself in, and can't be bothered to go out there to explore because it's scary, then your fears control you, right? So you're basically in the grip of fear, and there's no judgment there. We've all been there, and we're gonna have moments or being in that pool, like it or not. This is human condition. We are the nervous system takes over and can get into freeze mode, can go in all kinds of modes. I'm not saying this in order to shame you in any way. It's in more into meant in the understanding of the, like, yes, maybe you've been in this freezing, or it's not necessarily freezing, but in this comfort zone for a while. You needed it to stay in the soothing waters of your inner world. But now there's the call to adventure, and I think you're answering this call to adventure because you've got the Father of Pentacles with you. You've got it. You've got this for sure. You're grounded. You're present. You're aware, and you're able to guide yourself through this and tame your fears and soothe them so that they actually become your guardians. Hope that makes sense to you. It does make sense to me, but who knows? Communication's always that easy. All right, so King of Cups with the Son of Cups as a challenge. So King of Cups, it's the archetype of somebody who's incredibly emotionally aware, feeling their emotions fully, the good, the bad, and the ugly, but without having to be at the whim of their emotion, without having to be reactive, without taking each and every emotion as the supreme reality and as the authority of their whole being. The King of Cups, even though full of emotions, can sometimes appear quite emotionless because he knows when to share the emotions and when not. When is it healthy, when is it helpful, and when it isn't, which is a mastery skill again. That means also that if I have a certain emotion, I don't necessarily always need to act on it, whether that being fear and wanting to run away, or whether that being I don't know, craving of sorts, of certain things or certain people or certain, like, that we know that actually on the long run go towards our detriment. And also when we feel alone and needy and disconnected, it's not always the reality. So this actually implies a lot of self-regulation, being able to know your fears, to stay present with them, to work with your body at body level, like somatic practices of all forms that help you self-regulate whatever fears may come up as you're entering this new cycle. And with the Son of Cups here, I mean, like, I understand that the probably I feel that you find yourself here in the position of the Son of Cups, and then you find it difficult to embody this King of Cups, which I said is like fully, I've got this, baby, no worries, like very, very present. The Son of Cups is a bit driven by his emotion. He's a bit impulsive, He's still the knight. There's still growth to be happening. You're in this growth process, and there's a lot to be discovered, and have faith and trust in your capacity and ability and knowledge to do so. So don't judge yourself when you find yourself too emotional, or when you don't label emotions as good or bad. Be present with them, feel them fully. And when you notice yourself acting on emotions like rashly or impulsively, or when you're reactive, too reactive, then you would like observe it, and again feel it into the body, name the emotions. Do you know, have you ever heard of Tara Brach? She's got this practice called RAIN. It's an acronym for a very, very useful and easy to remember practice, so that you can work exactly with this, with difficult emotions. R stands for recognize. A stands from bring it into awareness. So first recognize, okay, I'm in the grips of fear, or I'm in the, I don't know, I'm craving something that's unhealthy for me. Then bring it into, was it awareness? I'm not really sure now if the A stands for awareness. I think awareness, yeah, like really bring awareness to it, stay with that moment, and naming it. Start like saying how it feels, hot, cold, scary. Just put all the words that come to mind. Heart pumping. Bring that awareness into the body as well. Like, how does it feel into the body, rather than staying into the story of how that feels. And then you have I, that stands for investigation. Once you're grounded, once you're really present with that emotion, you recognize it, you named it, you know where it is in the body, you can investigate what's really behind this. Usually behind each and every craving, there's something, whether it's for something unhealthy or unattainable. It's where we hold ourselves back, where we think that we fall short. We're craving for something to show us that we are not as inadequate as we think we are. This is just I don't know why I went so specific, but it can be anything. Just to investigate the underlayer of this. What's behind the feeling? It's always a fear, or again, blah blah blah. And then N stands for nurture. Be present from the father, from the mother position. There's a lot of fatherly energy here, so probably, moon is very feminine, in Cancer, the mother. But it's like the mother and the father energy. Be your own mother and the father, and nurture that part of yourself. Or if you believe in higher powers, or if it's easy for you to connect with figures such as, I don't know, angels or God or divine something, you can also ask for help in that way, and ask for divine nurturing and care, or just simply connect to that part within yourself that is the most mature, the mother, the father, and hold space for those fears. And that's how you tame the fears, and that's how this Son of Cups grows into this King of Cups, and leads you to mastery. Look it up. Tara Brach, Rain practice. And I didn't even go through the advice. Just like advice. But I think it makes sense. I hope it makes sense to you. Okay, so the Magician and the Eight of Swords as advice. Why is that? Because the Magician is, you have the Fool, and then the Magician is that the next step. Is you're going out there into the world and starting being starting the hero journey, starting with understanding your physical reality, putting things out there. This is it's a energy of initiation, and we have all the aces here on the table, so you are able to harness the energy in full balance, with wisdom of the universe at your side, and inner wisdom. And you're able to harness all this energy and put yourself out there in a completely new way, completely reinvented way, where you integrate it, and all these like levels of master which close the cycle, and are able to reconfigure all the data in a way of like how you identify yourself with, who you are, what are your go-to things to do, or things to soothe yourself when you're afraid. These things, like it's a completely new person that's being birthed here into the world, and you have the capacity to do that. And the Eight of Swords here tells me also that you may still feel trapped in this, like a bit of an overthinking, and there's this part of you that might want to like hold back from allowing this chrysalis, is it called, to develop fully into the butterfly. But hey, again, it's about noticing what are the deterring thoughts, what are the swords, because swords symbolize thoughts, right? It's just mind energy. What are the thoughts that are kind of holding you back and holding you down? And as then again, you have the full capacity now to not believe them. Challenging them, challenging our thoughts doesn't need to be come with that energy of conflict. Oh yeah, I challenge you. Oh God, you're the enemy. Yeah, I'm gonna fight with my thoughts, and I'm gonna no. Uh, it's about actually bringing kindness and understanding that these thoughts were there for a reason. I internalized them at a young age, that somehow we're not good enough, sometimes something's wrong with us, blah 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 blah. I think I'm repeating this story with each and every reading, but this is at the base of everything, honestly. And the thing is that we start realizing, like, the stories that we tell ourselves, and we're realizing how we're putting ourselves down, and we're learning to decondition from that. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we go into inflation of like, okay, completely denying any voice of reason that tells me like not to jump from a tree because I can fly, but rather understand that the laws of gravity work this way. I understand. This is like wisdom. This is like, I understand what I can do with these elements. It's not inflation, okay? But it's also not giving in to the fears, not giving in to the self-diminishing thoughts, or like, the overworking mind. Also, it's a good process here, because the mind starts understanding its own limitation. Is you start seeing what you can't really this is not the full authority. Again, none of it is, not the emotions, not the mind. And you connecting to something deeper. Just a second. Sorry, I had a delivery and I'm back. Probably it sounds a little bit weird on camera. Never mind. All right, so let's continue with this. I hope you get the idea of this whole, like, okay, trusting that you know what you're doing, that you're trusting your own wisdom, trusting that your mind is not your authority. You're not your mind, you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, you're not any of that. Um, you're finding that you're more than the sum of your parts. You're finding that connection with a deeper part of yourself, the deepest intuition and wise and caring self, the part of you that can get excited, the part of you that knows how to balance the fears and the thoughts and the emotions, and focus on the heart, focus on the fire that's burning within you, focusing on the passion of life, of being and experiencing and exploring, and curiosity, and so on. So this is quite a journey here that you're going through, my dear Cancer. You're expanding your mind for sure. You're learning a lot about yourself. You're learning a lot about how to communicate of yourself. This mastery again also into the one suits, which is has to do with how you put your energy out into the world, the fire, the actions, the passions again. It's wow. It's a learning curve, and it's an amazing process of it looks fun. Looks like you're having fun this month. In however way, yeah, okay, it's locked down, the world is as it is. It depends also where in the world you are, of course. But I feel like whatever the outside circumstances, you're finding ways to find a new type of enthusiasm for discovering life as it is, for accepting life as it is, for going into this hero's journey, new way of being, allowing yourself to come out in that way, allow yourself to grow, and allowing yourself to communicate and show more of yourself, this new self that's been reinvented. That sounds a little bit too intentional, but reshaped, reborn, been reborn, darling. Okay, now let's pull a Rumi Oracle card. Final message. That's hopefully just one. A new gown. Hell yeah, that's exactly what's happening here. It's all new. A whole new you. Okay, so this is a new gown. Number 18. I'm gonna start reading. If I find it, there it is. So there's a long poem with this. Sometimes the poems from it can be a bit cryptical, but please do, again, sit with it and see what it resonates within you, and just take that as it is. And then I'm going to go into the interpretation. So, weary and consumed by longing, I was caressed by my beloved last night. My wounded soul was set free when I tasted the sweetness of love. My spirit was lifted at once. I surrendered my life while overflowing with joy, and my vision was filled with light. Love said, "Don't feel so hopeless, my weary and gloomy one, for my generosity is beyond forgetting those devoted to me. See how boundless divine justice can be. Behold my immeasurable kindness." Love embraced my spirit, and all my doubts vanished at once. A new and glorious robe of honor was placed on my shoulders. Love offered me the power of new vision and the transforming touch of divine generosity, and placed the chalice of eternal wine in my hand. Rumi. Okay, I'm gonna read now the interpretation. Ah, beloved, if you could only see the incredible gift, the symbolic robe being offered to you now. Your fears will quake and tremble, disappearing more quickly than you could imagine. Your heart would take wings and become so light your entire being would lift clean off the ground and soar like an angel bird amongst the playground of the divine mother's sky. Yet like a young one, so much younger than your years and wisdom warrant, you may hold on to your tattered robes as though they were a security blanket. Though you know it is time to let it go, you may take pause and have a moment of doubt. You may wonder if the new robes will descend swiftly enough, or that without what you have known to cling on to, you will be left stark naked, exposed and vulnerable. These thoughts are not worthy of your status, but perhaps you are yet to realize you are of the most sublime royal lineage, that you are worthy of a cloak of galaxies, a crown of stars, a body of sacred earth, and a voice of stirring music. You may be craning your neck to see who is that can bestow permission upon you to receive a gift of such dignity. Okay, I'll skip this part. Actually, that's just a little bit too metaphorical for my taste, and it's a long reading. Okay, so this oracle comes to you with a sacred portent. You are fast approaching a moment of a great leap, an evolutionary shift on your spiritual path. Hell yeah, that's exactly what's happening here. Your sense of yourself and your divine identity is about to be revealed and realized in a way more potent than ever before. This is wonderful. This is a divine happening. You must allow it. Do not confuse humility with humiliation. Do not humble yourself excessively. You do not have to battle with false pride either. Simply honor yourself as a living being, worthy of life, worthy of this royal path of divine realization. What a gift it is to cast aside belief in inferiority or superiority, unhelpful as those notions are for now. What a gift instead to embrace your own path, irrespective of what any other may think, whether they hold it in glory or derision. Who cares? not you nor I. Your royal heritage has been revealed, and in seeing the divinity within yourself, you become blessed to see it in all beings returning to the realization of royalty within. Crazed searching outside of the heart will come to an end. A simple golden path will be found, as though a river of molten gold flows from your heart back to the oceanic heart of the great beloved. Here, united again, you finally ascend your throne and claim your divinity once and for always. This oracle comes with particular guidance for you. You are stepping into empowerment in a new way, and it is to be honored. Do not allow yourself to be dragged into dramas or power games. You are worth so much more than that. You are tapping into your inner dignity, and others may not know how to respond. Some will respond with love and acknowledgement, others with fear and judgment, calling you too big for your boots or high and mighty. Those are voices of fear, not truth. Be in your dignity and power and keep going. It is the divine that urges you thus, not the ego. Do not doubt the changes happening within you now. Embrace them. No, it says like a simple golden path will be revealed. I see this path here that comes, when you're centered in your heart, when you're balancing out, when you're tempering all these like strong emotions and fears and such. Here's the path. It's clear and leads straight into the sun. Not in that not in a bad way, in a good way, right? Like to the symbolism of enlightenment. Okay, so sacred honoring ritual. There's this here. If you're into it, if you want to follow try it out, go for it. If you're not into it, just don't let it go. So if you want to do it, it goes like this. Place your hands very lightly upon the top of your head and say aloud, I cast aside lesser crowns. Open your hands up to the heavens and say aloud, I receive the royal gown descending through grace. I think I'm pronouncing this correctly. I receive the royal gown descending through grace. Slowly and gently guide your hands down from over the top of your head alongside your body, as though drawing a royal robe over your head. Allow your hands to gently touch the floor, as though the robe completely covers you. Sit comfortably and visualize or intend that the most beautiful gown of many colors surround you. You may or may not be aware of the colors. You may see layers of shimmering lights, stars, roses, or more. You may hear the gown singing like a choir of angels, or gurgling as though it is a fountain of liquid gold. Let it be as it is for you, as subtle or powerful as it wishes to be. Whatever happens for you is perfect. When you are ready, simply open your eyes, place your hands in prayer position, and bow your head. You have finished your sacred honoring ritual. All right, my dear Cancer, this is just beautiful. It's amazing month. Not without, working with fear is challenging, but you've got so much supportive energy here. You've got the drive, you've got the power, you've got the guidance, you've got everything that you need. So enjoy this journey fully. Make it fun. I'm sure you're going to have fun with it. All right, Cancer. So, if you resonated with this reading, please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that. Get engaged so this channel can grow and reach more people that would benefit from these readings. And yes, may our practice benefit all beings. See you here next month.